Be ready, my friend. Be ready for that.
Well, that's very dramatic.
Yes, I'm ready. I'm always ready. If you want, I'm always ready. The day the state is divided, I'll quit politics.
Well, here are challenges and counter challenges. However, the discussion is not on whether Mr. Rajagopal of the Congress party retires or retires hurt, to use a sporting expression. Let's expand the scope of the debate, ladies and gentlemen. Joining us also is Revanth Reddy of the TDP, Mohammed Salim of the CPM, Rahul Narvekar of the Shiv Sena, and Raja Bundela, actor and activist for Bundelkhand. My question at this stage is, where do we stop? Where are we going to stop? Rahul Narvekar, maybe with Vidarbha? Maybe with Vidarbha, because the people are now going to start demanding Vidarbha. There are people who will demand 7 or 8 other states. There are several other states whose applications are pending at different stages. Politicians are considering it. What will happen now? What's the implication?
Well, Arnab, at the beginning of the show, when you asked whether Meenakshi Lekhi would like to congratulate the Congress party and give them credit, I was wondering that credit and congratulations is for what? Is for attempting to form Telangana, or is it for advancing their political interest over national interest, which they've always done? In the current scenario, the demand of Telangana is not new. It's pending for several years. The timing of this decision or the moves that we see of late is not very surprising. In the past also, when the Congress needed allies and when they needed support on the floor of the House in the Parliament, we have seen them initiating and activating the Telangana movement. Today we are about 8 months away from the Parliament elections. So I'm not too surprised with this stand of theirs.
Well,
however, whether this is in national interest or not is the moot question.
Who decides? Who decides? Who decides? No, one second. I would argue that you are arguing from the point of view of your narrow political interest. Because if you look back in history, then in 1956, the Fazal Ali State Reorganization Commission, after considering all the memoranda and related aspects, favored a separate Vidarbha state with Nagpur as its capital in 1956. It is the narrow political interest of the Shiv Sena which is standing in the way of that. So those activists who want a Vidarbha state will say that it is your narrow political interest and not theirs.
There is absolutely no question of any political interest insofar as Vidarbha is concerned. Our strength in Vidarbha will remain as it is and will improve whether or not Vidarbha is formed as a separate state or not. Insofar as
your position is completely against Vidarbha. Please be honest on the Newshour. It is Uddhav Thackeray has said that you will not allow the breakup of Maharashtra.
Vidarbha, can you tell me what are the advantages of breaking up the state of Maharashtra? To my mind, there are none.
So that logic. One second. Now, so we are going into the broader debate on smaller parties. Raja Bundela wants Bundelkhand. He's coming.
You cannot decide about the others' interest. You can decide about your interest, your party's interest. No, the people are they are suffering since ages. It's happening in Bundelkhand, Rahul. You can't say it. You are a well-read person. You can say, what is the difference it's making? You ask and find out in Chhattisgarh what's the difference they are making. You ask and find out in Uttarakhand. They will have an answer for you. You see it in Haryana. They will have an answer for you. You can't say this for political gain. You just punishing people without any rhyme and reason.
Well, the answer is very simple to your question.
Please.
The answer is the advantages which you are talking about that a state achieves after it is split into two can be achieved even when the state is unified.
No,
can also be achieved if there is proper
administration. It can be in some other cases, but it's not possible in Vidarbha and Bundelkhand.
Are appropriately allotted, which the Congress government for the last 60 years haven't done. And that is why we are having breaking up of states every now and then and demands coming up of the like.
Rahul, first you manage the BMC.
So the answer is proper administration, not division of states.
Listen, first you manage the Mumbai. First you manage the municipal corporation.
Let's not bring Sanjay Jha. Please, let's not bring the other topics. Let's stick to this. You have a tendency to
please look at so many different Haryana and Himachal Pradesh.
May I, with your permission, attempt to anchor the Newshour tonight? Thank you. My question is to Mohammed Salim. My question is, where do we stop? So, what's going to happen is Gorkhaland out of Darjeeling and its adjoining regions in West Bengal, that demand for a new state Demands received by the Home Ministry in 2009.
I think
along with Saurashtra, Kurg, Bundelkhand, Harit Pradesh, Mithilanchal, Greater Kuch Bihar. No, your state will face a demand in two areas. West Bengal will have to decide whether you can have Greater Kuch Bihar and Gorkhaland as a state. Mohammed Salim.
Yes. In the entire political milieu, I may find myself quite isolated, because you will find out that for the years together, unless we are not resolving the real issues, instead of resolving the real issues, we are trying to create a situation where new problems can erupt. And that's why we can find some solace. So here the Congress could not resolve its own problem, could not put his house together. So they are passing this burden to the state, and so it's uniting the party and dividing the state. And for that matter, in Bengal, if I see, it's Kamtapur, it's Greater Kuch Bihar, it's Gorkhaland, and then you will find something extra in Jangal Mahal tomorrow. Then you have Bodoland, you have Bundelkhand, you have Harit Pradesh, you have Vidarbha, and your original question was, where do we stop?
Yeah, where do we stop?
It's going to be a nation, instead of nation state, it's going to be a
please try to understand, जो genuine मांग है, उन मांगों को तो आपको मानना पड़ेगा.
Separate state chief minister. But the real issues of the people which we are facing in this country now, is it poverty, price rise, unemployment, underdevelopment, or is it that you require a
broad argument?
It's a general argument.
They are talking about
one second.
States have failed to resolve the issues. You see it Chhattisgarh, you see it Jharkhand, you see it Manipur.
What's wrong with Chhattisgarh? What's wrong with Chhattisgarh? Chhattisgarh is much better than what your West Bengal was when you were ruling. It's 1,000 times better. It's Uttarakhand, you find 1,000 times better. Haryana and Punjab are 1,000 times better.
State is not being governed.
Let's not get into it.
Chhattisgarh,
after 36 years, what you have given to West Bengal, you know it yourself. Let's not talk about, let's talk something genuine now. There is a demand, it's a genuine demand, and we are going to follow it. Either it's a Bundelkhand or Vidarbha or Gorkhaland or Bodoland. We have decided, and you have to be willing to accept it.
How far? Now KTR is listening on to this debate. Meenakshi Lekhi wants to come in. Mr. Revanth Reddy, I'm sorry I haven't come to you. At this stage of the Newshour debate, the debate takes a different turn. We're asking whether new states are necessarily performing better than their mother states. Well, there is an argument here. Just want to put one statistic, Meenakshi Lekhi, before I come to you. I'm not arguing either side. But I agree that if you look at agriculture in Chhattisgarh, it's growing at 2.8%. Madhya Pradesh is at 0.8%. Right? Uttarakhand, ravaged by the floods, but it grew at 12.3% since 2004. Uttar Pradesh is going at 6.8%, which means Uttarakhand as a smaller state is growing at twice the rate of its mother state of Uttarakhand, of Uttar Pradesh. Is there an argument to be made there? Meenakshi Lekhi, your take on the small state versus big state argument. And the question Mohammed Salim puts is, you will not be able to stop if this continues. You'll just break up the country into too many different divisions.
You see, if you're breaking up not into separate states, but you're separate states as in separate nations, but you're making it a different administrative unit, and different administrative unit so that better governance prevails, and aspiration of people, if over 60 years has not been answered, either due to geographical exploitation or bad management or bad governance or whatever, then they definitely, or sometimes historical aspiration. In this case, Telangana was a historical aspiration. Now when such things are
there may be many states with historical aspirations. People in Bundelkhand will say we have a historical aspiration as well.
I'm coming to that. You see, if you see that, say for example Bundelkhand is part of Uttar Pradesh, but because it is a far corner, what happens in Lucknow,
that's not the only reason. Meenakshi ji, please try to understand.
People may be within their rights to determine and have their own government, to have their own governance.
Meenakshi ji, there was a treaty, 36 Maharaja. Please go to the history about Bundelkhand. You don't know about Bundelkhand. Please try to understand the history.
One second. Meenakshi Lekhi, I have a more simple question for you. 1 second, Meenakshi. 1 second. No. You have an answer. I have a question for her. And my question to Meenakshi Lekhi is this. 1 second. Meenakshi Lekhi, you're very clear tonight. You're absolutely clear that you are in principle in favor of smaller states, right? Could you tell everyone watching the Newshour tonight why your party was in such a bind, confused, not knowing what to do, utterly despaired when Mayawati unilaterally announced a division of Uttar Pradesh into 4 ahead of the UP elections? You'll say it's a political gimmick.
No, because she announced it.
No, but she announced it. Why were you in a bind then?
It's a political gimmick.
She passed it.
She passed it. It was not an only announcement.
Even today,
she passed it.
Even today, when you are announcing Telangana, I have the same concern. Because when you want to create a separate state, a huge
so what is you see
in terms of geography,
Meenakshi Lekhi, no. I have on record the BJP president.
Just making an announcement.
I have on record the BJP president. I have on record the BJP president and Murli Manohar Joshi, past president, also from Varanasi. Murli Manohar Joshi says UP's division is bad for the state and the rest of the country. Rajnath Singh says we will decide the agenda later. Problems cannot be solved by the division of the states. Several smaller states in the country are facing major problems.
That's
1 minute.
Exactly my point.
1 minute, Meenakshi.
That's exactly
1 minute.
my point.
1 minute. Why such hypocrisy?
You need to have a research.
Why such hypocrisy?
It has to be backed up with a report.
Why such hypocrisy?
You can't just make an overnight announcement.
Why such hypocrisy? You are against the division of UP. You welcome the division of Andhra Pradesh.
Absolutely no hypocrisy. Mr. Goswami,
Sanjay.
No hypocrisy. On the contrary,
I've just proven it.
Proving my point. You
I've
want
just
to
proven
divide
it.
a state. You need to take people's aspirations and make governance the issue.
Well, I've just proven it.
Those issues.
Arnab, on
and without a report, if you are making an announcement, that is a
I'm glad you started by
gimmick.
talking about Mr. L.K. Advani's statement where he was clearly against Telangana, and you're hearing the double speak of the BJP. The question is that I can tell you right now, you have got
Mr. Jha, your knowledge seems to be limited. Mr. L.K. Advani has made a statement on Sonia Gandhi's birthday कि मैं बधाई देना चाहता हूँ किस तरीके का निर्णय लिया, that too on the House of the
So I
Parliament.
think it's a political risk that we have taken. Meenakshi, can I finish? The political risk that the Congress party has taken in the interest of the nation.
And
let me tell you, as
I have a question.
Singh has clarified that you cannot approach the issue of reorganization of states in a casual manner.
I can read out the content of the debate
It has to be taken from the merit on a case-to-case basis.
आप मुझे अवसर दे रही हैं, मैं सदन को बताना चाहती हूँ कि आज के लिए बधाई दूं कि आपने सदन के जिस प्रकार आंध्र प्रदेश की स्थिति में हस्तक्षेप करके एक नया उदाहरण प्रस्तुत
किया है। Who are you quoting?
10th December 2009.
Who are you quoting, Meenakshi? Who are you quoting?
I'm quoting Mr. Advani.
So I'll quote Murli Manohar Joshi.
Mr. Advani.
I'll quote Murli Manohar Joshi.
Foul. Don't play foul.
I'll quote Murli Manohar Joshi. Murli Manohar Joshi says, I heard you when you quoted, you listen to me when I'm quoting. Murli Manohar Joshi says, if the question is of development, then Purvanchal and Bundelkhand can be taken care of through the setting up of a separate authority or through special funds for that development. Come on. Why is the BJP being hypocritical tonight?
Has that been done?
Well, why have you said that? Has that not been said?
That is Mr. Murli Manohar Joshi's plan.
Then you need to say tonight. Then you tell me tonight. Are you for the division of UP? Are you for the division of UP? Are you for the division of UP?
I am saying okay. Allow me. I will make up my mind if there is a detailed report on the benefits versus the faults, and then I will make up my mind. Until now, there is no research on the table. So first bring that research.
KTR wanted to come in. No, KTR wanted to come in. KTR, do you think national parties have inconsistency on this? Do you think national parties have inconsistency on this?
Even UP, Mr. Rajnath Singh ji has said
KTR.
that he will take a call later. Let's bring the facts on record.
No, you see, problem is Meenakshi, what's the point I'm making? KTR, I'm coming to you. The point I'm making is that national parties have no position on this. National parties have no consistency.
I'm making a very small point.
No consistency and no position.
No. I'm making a very... There is an absolute consistency in the thought, and the consistency is that if it suits the governance, and if you can manage with good governance by having state authorities...
KTR is responding.
People will not ask
for that's him. KTR is responding.
People are asking
KTR is responding.
One way or the other, you have to address those issues.
KTR is responding.
Arnab, all I wanted to say